That's not them. I'm talking about your type. You've been using them. No, it's a little.
Don't mind the noise in my house, you guys. This is just everyday my life, right? I already did do the intro. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Huh? Donovan has the batteries. What's today? Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everyone's having an amazing Saturday. I literally, what did I do today? Oh, we went grocery shopping. I usually go grocery shopping when my babe is home, and talk to my brother. He lives in California. That is what took me so long, so I apologize. But you guys all get used to it. Like, all of my friends used to say, "What's Tia time?" Because, for goodness sakes, because Tia time is a little bit different than everybody else's time. Okay. Hey, Carly, Boston, Heather, Sincere, YouTube Psych Myths, Goose, Carrie. That might have been a while ago when Carrie was on here. Amanda Lee. I hope all of you guys are having an amazing day. I'm going to come on camera in a minute. You guys know the drill. I'm going to go and warm up my coffee. And then we will get started. I think this is kind of like a good luck thing, right? Warm up our coffee and then we start. So now is the time for you guys to go warm up your coffee. This is not going to be a long live. If you guys do have something to say and you want this to be an open panel, we can definitely do that. But I don't want this live to drag out for a very long time. It's 1:41 now. I definitely don't want this to go over an hour or two. So I'm going to go warm up my coffee.
What? Can you see that better on this side?
No, because
it's like right behind you.
No. Hold on a second, you guys. I have to show him something.
Talking about that stuff.
Now, if you see here, hi everyone. That you'll see it. You'll see that stuff over there. All right, you guys. Oh, no more red right now. I need to go back to blonde, but I'm gonna Google microaggression because was interesting learning more about it. It is definitely something that I do want to talk about. Thank you guys. Of course, this stupid ring light don't work. You guys see the rainbow? My babe got that for me. So you guys look at that. They'll be able to look at it when I get up. And I will be right back, okay? He'll come on camera when he gets back. He's about to go to the store.
No, I'm looking at this.
No, you don't. They all figure it out. They all figure.
I'm looking on camera like you.
What is wrong with you? Why are all these batteries here? What is wrong with people? Batteries are always charging. Charge them. Where's the charger?
I don't think all batteries charge. They have to be certain batteries. Try. No. Energize. Energize. They keep running. the internet? They say they keep running, right. And they go. The bunny goes.
They don't have that commercial no more. They stopped doing that. So no, it can't be that. Move. You're always trying to.
You watch LeBron James straighten out.
Maybe
He might be in basketball.
you should think about
See LeBron James,
looking for an attorney to talk to about the officers. Okay? Don't worry about that's what you need to worry about.
She said I could call her attorney. There's an attorney that wants no money for situations like that.
Really?
Remember.
Yeah, but what?
If you think he has a case, I want to put no money down.
The only problem is sometimes attorneys don't want it.
Fuck him. Like for real. They do not need to get away with this.
No,
they took my department, whatever, right out the window.
There is an attorney that right down the street, we can even go there and see what our options are. Like that's something that's important. It should not be forgotten. I'm sick of it. And my camera's off. And my camera's off. They have the audacity to take his license. That's just no. Pissed off this week.
You want something cheap?
Pepsi.
We got Pepsi.
Ice. No, nothing. Okay. Bye. All right, you guys, I'm back. Sorry, you guys, I forgot to put it on mute. Okay. I want to talk to you guys really quick because she always warms up her coffee at the beginning of her lives. It gives us time to say hi to each other. Sorry, you guys, I forgot to mute. But I don't hide anything from you guys. But I wanted to say something to you guys real quick. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with my Keurig Rose Gold. It's literally the best investment ever. And the next investment will be an air fryer because I heard really, really great things about that. All right, let me close my door real quick. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys real quick because I got like a few emails, and yeah, I'm gonna look into it for sure. I got a few emails because I know how it is when a person blatantly lies and you know they're lying because you've literally sat there and watched this all, right? You've watched it from the very beginning. Okay? You've watched it from when she started talking about me. So then I made a community post. Mods, I'm telling you right now, anyone who is disrespectful in this chat, no tolerance, timeout, block. Period. Okay? Because obviously this is a subject that people just whatever. People don't like to talk about. But you've seen her do a video, then you see me do a community post, then you seen her do that video where she was bashing me all night, talking about my looks, talking of just straight bullying, right? You guys seen it all. And then you watch it play out, and then you blatantly see for yourself the lies. You see that she continuously keeps lying. And I understand your frustration. I understand how you could be like, it just makes you so mad, doesn't it? When you know somebody's lying and really, there's nothing really that you can do. You can't stop people from being who they are. You know what I mean? You can't stop people from lying. You can't stop people from saying horrible things about you. You can't stop people from trying to say these things. It is what it is. And every single person that has emailed me has expressed their frustration and has told me their story of what they've went through. And I've met some really nice people, to be honest with you, and literally they've told me their story, and like, I want to say something. No, I don't want anybody saying anything. I don't even want nobody saying her name in my comment section, period. And the reason why is because I'm not going tit for tat with this person. I'm not going to do it, because even with the little bit of clips that I seen earlier today, this person is not, to me, a rational person. This person is going to continuously perpetuate her own narrative and still continuously pretend as though she didn't bash me, she didn't bully me, she didn't talk down on me, okay? Because at the end of the day, the only reason why she's backtracking, and there's a comment that I want to read to you guys too. There's a lot of stuff that I want to be able to tell you guys during this live. That's why I want to hurry up and get started. But the only reason why she's backtracking is because she looks dumb as fuck. That's why. First, she said my foundation doesn't match. I took it off and proved you wrong. Okay? I don't have to be salty for you saying my foundation doesn't match, because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what you think. My point is that you automatically assumed that I was wearing lighter foundation. That was my issue, because my foundation matches perfectly and I showed it. Then you talked about at least your hair is real, but yet you have fake breast. Then you said you hate my makeup and my makeup's ugly and I look like a clown, but yet in the very first live that I did, that's all you talked about was my makeup and how you wish you could do your makeup like that. Girl, bye. So that is why I understand. Bye-bye.
Garden.
No. What are you calling Donovan for? What?
I will always.
No. Yes. No, go. Sorry about that, you guys. Hold on, let me read some comments here. Sorry if I'm missing your comments, you guys. I hate all of it to you. Absolute garbage. I'm sorry. You guys don't have to be sorry. There is nothing that I cannot handle. You guys don't have to think that you have to speak for me, and that, but I understand your frustration when you're hearing somebody lying, or when you literally witnessed her doing a 3-hour live bashing me. You guys witnessed it. So I can understand your frustration when you literally see her saying, she's doing this, she's doing that. One thing I will tell you right now, you guys, I will never be a perpetual victim. Okay? I own my shit. If something just like when I said the R word, I immediately apologize because it's wrong. That's a wrong. And the reason why I said that is because, to be honest, it's not a word that I obviously say often. My mother was a nurse for the mentally challenged for 30 years. Okay. And back then, the R word was okay. And I understand how everybody just can't stand the whole, everyone has to be politically correct. I get it. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's just not a word that should ever be used ever again. It's the wrong kind of word to use. And it's definitely not a word that I use often. I used to get grounded. Hold on one second, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. I used to get grounded when I used to say that word, but back then that word was actually okay. People used that word. They used to say the mentally R word, but now it's mentally challenged, or there's a lot of other words that you can use. But at the end of the day, I am human, of course, and I made a mistake, and I immediately apologize, and that's the reason why that's not being brought up, because I immediately apologized. Okay. When you are listening to her, did she apologize once for anything that she said? Anything? The way she bashed me. The only reason why you're backtracking is because you looked dumb as fuck. Everything that you said blew up in your face. And that's the end of it. But the reason why I'm saying that you guys don't have to be frustrated, because it's not worth it to be frustrated. It's just not. Being frustrated, it doesn't do anything but ruin your entire day. And it's not worth it. Yeah, I corrected myself. It's not a word that's, hey Steph, how are you, beautiful? It's not a word that I use often, like I said, but that's the difference. You recognize and apologize. Go.
Oreos.
No, you're not getting any Oreos. You just had a cupcake. Go sit down. You didn't say it maliciously, and she has nothing else to harp on. Right. But I want to talk to you about this microaggression, racial microaggression. And the reason why I want to talk about this, you guys, is because I find it very disgusting how people keep saying you're playing the race card. Okay. First of all, I'm going to give you guys some examples of microaggression. Okay. And obviously, it's something that I have dealt with my entire life, especially growing up around predominantly white people. However, I still grew up in the ghetto. I'm not going to lie. Like when my brother would babysit me and things like that. But at the end of the day, the stereotypes are still there, right? So I used to get it from both sides, you guys. Okay, here's my first example. My mother worked 2 jobs to She was a single mom until she met my stepdad, but my mother worked 2 jobs for me to go to a really good school. And we grew up where I still live today. I know everybody, it's a great town. And I used to deal with racism from teachers and stop it. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Don't bother me all day until I go live. I'm with him all freaking day, begging for his attention, and yet, as soon as I go live. Okay, so I grew up predominantly around white people, and I dealt with racism from all angles, especially teachers. But that was back in the day when the town that I live in really wasn't that diverse. It has definitely grown to be very diverse over the years. I think the whole world is starting to be more diverse. But my mother was very, very strict on me with speaking the proper English, okay? Using different words and slang was a no-no to my mother. And my mother used to always say, I work too hard for you to talk as if you're not educated, right? So I grew up speaking very proper, okay? And then when I would go to my brother's house, and I'm a dominantly, all black, it was all black, and I would talk proper, I would get made fun of, okay? They would say, you're talking white. Why are you talking white? Okay. This is my first example I'm giving you guys. Why are you talking white? And I would say, this is just how I talk, And ultimately, when I would come home, because then I would try to change the way I talk depending upon who I was around. Okay. I was young. I was very, very young. So then when I would come home from my brother's house, because of my brother, I'd be with my nieces and nephews, and my brother used to babysit me sometimes when my mother would work. My mom worked a lot. And when I would come home and I would be talking like not proper and trying to force myself to talk a certain way, my mother would beat my butt. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I have to change my battery, but I'm not even going to lie to you guys. She would beat my butt and she would say, I've worked too hard for you to talk like that. You be yourself. I don't care where you are. And then you have to look at it like this. Since when is race attributed to being educated, right? It's not. And it is a huge stereotype. And even me, when I would, unless it was, people that I grew up with in my town where I grew up, and I would meet even new white people, they would expect me to talk a certain way and would be shocked that I was talking educated. And they'd be like, I'm so shocked that you talk like that. Most Black people don't talk like you. Do you guys understand now what microaggression behavior is? It is categorizing, stereotyping a race when it has to do with, it's a very hard thing to explain, but it's stereotyping one race and thinking that this race all does the same thing, instead of making your opinion about an individual on their personality. or getting to know them. It's automatically stereotyping a whole race and thinking that every Black person is the same, or every Chinese person is the same, or, you know, every Black person, they don't talk educated, or every Chinese person, I don't know. I have no idea because I don't think like that. But I'm trying to um, convey to you guys examples of what it is. And when people disregard that, as in you're playing the race card, that is, to me, deflection. It's deflection. And it's also it's deflection, and it's also them um, trying to deflect from their own personal issues of them stereotyping. Because what I'm trying to explain to you guys is it is very, very easy for someone who has a mind like that to stereotype somebody and say her foundation does not match her complexion at all, then versus saying, I don't think that her foundation matches her, or I don't think that her foundation matches her. However, her foundation doesn't, versus her foundation doesn't match her. It's way, way, way too light for her face. You guys get it now? If she would have worded that differently, then it would have been thought of as differently. However, the way that she worded that is a microaggression, to automatically assume that I am wearing lighter foundation is a stereotype that we as Black women endure because people automatically think that we wear lighter foundation. Why not darker foundation? Why not just say, I don't think her foundation matches her skin? Why does it have to be, it is way, way, way too light for her skin? Do you guys understand? It's not me playing the race card, because what you guys have to understand is racial microaggression is not racism, okay? It's a form of it, but it's not. Racism is when you hate a race for the color of their skin. Racial microaggression is when you stereotype and categorize people as if they're all the same. It's very different. It's very different. And that's what I'm trying. And the wig comments too, absolutely. First of all, it is very, very apparent, and what you guys need to understand with African American women. And I'm half Indian. I've always had really good hair. But as I've gotten older, it's a little bit harder to maintain. And even saying I'm half Indian. Indian, we all know, Indian women have beautiful, beautiful long hair. Not every Indian woman, but a majority of them do. My mother did. But my hair has thinned out over the years. And when it comes to African American hair, it's different. A lot of African American women wear lace fronts, extensions. However, everybody does, you guys. Everybody does. The Kardashians, Beyonce, people with millions of dollars wear extensions. That people wear lace front wigs every day. They're very popular, and I will never stop. I love my lace fronts. I even sometimes blend my hair in with my lace fronts. There has been times I've even wore my real hair filming, not live, but regardless, that's none of nobody's business. At the end of the day, that was a microaggression in itself too. To sit there and say, at least my hair is real. Like, that's basically saying, so what? All Black women don't have real hair? I hope you guys are understanding what I'm saying, because in no way do I play the race card. And I'm going to give you another example of microaggression. Well, no, that's actually an example of racism. There's plenty more. Let me read some of these comments. Even the good hair, bad hair is a bigger topic than people think. I agree. YouTube Psych Myths. I agree. And someone comparing racial microaggression to being racist shows ignorance. And they should probably not be speaking on it. I agree, because it's not the same. It's not the same. But I think that is them using the race card as an excuse. That is something that is used a lot. That is something that is very much used a lot, and it should not be. Okay? That is the first thing whenever a Black person expresses any type of feelings. The first thing a person who literally probably is the one who is inflicting that pain on other Black people, they are the first people to say, there she goes, pulling the race card. Total deflection. Yes, microaggressive in its definition is not always intentional, but people need. It's not always intentional. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not. Some people. You got me a Pepsi, even though I have.
Queen.
Oh, he's kissing up, you guys. Thank you, babe. Thank you. He's a sweetheart. When he wants to be a sweetheart. Let me see here. Yes, it's not always intentional. Sometimes people just, I'm not going to lie. I think we all do it, you guys. But if somebody makes you aware, listen to them. Why do you have to deflect? You deflect because it's something that you do and that you're comfortable doing. How hard is it to listen? That's like if somebody said to me, I don't know, what's a stereotype of white people? And whether it's a positive or negative stereotype. That's like if somebody says to me, or if I say, man, all white people have good hair. And a white person actually sat me down and said, Tia, not all white people have good hair. That's a stereotype. Everyone's hair is different and unique to, who you are. That does not mean. Thank you, Amber. Don't worry. I'll read all you guys' comments. I gotta change my battery. But, or if I say, shit. You guys, I don't do it that often. I really don't think I do because I can't think of something. I really can't. Let me think. No. A racial microaggression. Okay, let's just say I said all Chinese people I have no idea, you guys. Right. Okay, there you go, Carly. You guys see, it's very hard for me to even think of it off because I try not to. Oh my God, who gave me a super chat? I'm so sorry. Who gave me super chat? Rose Gold, thank you so much, beautiful. I'm sorry that I missed that. I hope you're still here. Thank you so much, beautiful. I appreciate you. I'm white and Australian and my hair is crap. I understand what you're saying. And there's everybody's different. It's the individual, but there are definitely stereotypes that all Black women have bad hair. For sure. And it's not just a stereotype that white people make. Black people themselves make that stereotype too. It's not always intentional. I'm not saying it is, but if somebody's trying to tell you, listen. Don't deflect. Don't make excuses. And people keep throwing around, you play the race card way too much. And it's nothing but ignorance to me. It is ignorance. Or with my last name, they automatically assume I married a Mexican. God forbid my dad is Mexican. Right. Or like, where's that comment? I'm Italian. Check. In there. She goes talking with her hands again. Yeah, there you go. Anti-racist allies. Thank you so much, Boston, for posting that. My mods are awesome. Or yes, like all Mexicans and Hispanics are illegal. Okay, so if I was to say that or automatically assume that, that is a racial microaggression. And if I was to actually say that and not even thinking of it, it just came out of my mouth. Let's just say, one of my Mexican friends sat me down and said, Tia, that's not true. Do you think I'm going to deflect and say, I didn't mean it like that? Everyone always has to play the race card. No, this isn't that. It's not the same. And I'm sorry, but I can't help stupidity. I cannot. If you cannot see that racial microaggression is not the same as racism, something's wrong with you and I cannot help you. Sorry. No, I don't want to help you. You should want to help yourself. But there is no way. I can't fix stupid. Like, I cannot. If you're literally going to sit there and say, well, and it's all excuses. It's always excuse after excuse. It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting behavior to sit there and say, just like with James Charles, sometimes he wears darker foundation and he doesn't match his foundation right. That's not the same thing. It's not. And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, you guys. It's not the same thing. How is that the same? Like I said, if it would have been worded differently, if it would have been, I don't think her foundation matches her skin and her complexion. Okay. But when you say her foundation is way, way too light for her skin, there's a difference, you guys. There's a difference. And I want to read you guys this comment real quick, okay? Exactly. Saying somebody is playing the racist card is, and to be honest with you, people do that way too often. Way too often. And it's sickening to me. It is. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It's sickening. I understand that these days it's very hard to be politically correct. There are a lot of things. There's a lot of sensitive people on the internet. Let's keep it real, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Times are changing. If you don't like it, then don't be on the internet. Period. Just like me accidentally saying the R word, that is impolitically incorrect or politically incorrect. It's wrong to say it. That's why I automatically had to catch myself, because at the end of the day, it's wrong. It's not a good word to use. And at the at the end of the day, to sit there and throw that in my face, like, dude, you've been recorded telling people to kill themselves. There's recordings out there of you telling people to kill themselves. Please. Just stop. I mean, if you are sensitive, there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. What I'm saying is times are changing. And when it comes to Amanda, try not to say her name, please. Thank you, sweetie. When it comes to she knows exactly what she said when she said it. She's just trying to twist it. I agree 100%, Amanda. 100%. Tia, it doesn't just happen with race like Boston said. I've had I've had people say, oh, you'd be so pretty if you were thinner. Exactly. So they are paying a compliment, but it's still hurtful. Since it's like, I understand what you're saying, Heather. I'm curious what your opinion is if someone posted something maybe slightly racial or slightly homophobic 10 to 15 years ago, should they still be held accountable? It's a good question. Good question. Yes. Table talk with T. Yes. Do I think that they should be automatically canceled for it? No. And I also think it's depending upon what they said. Okay. So for example, somebody like Laura Lee making fun of the Trayvon Martin case and saying, very, very horrible, hurtful things. And we all know how horrible that situation was, and just cracking jokes about it. To me, she should be held accountable for that. Absolutely. And I think it was 10 years ago or so. Maybe not that long ago, but regardless, I do. And here's the thing. When you put something up on the internet, it's there forever. It's there forever. But do I think that a person should be canceled for something they said 10 to 15 years ago? No. First of all, cancel culture doesn't exist. I don't think a person should be slaughtered. However, I do think it's depending upon what they say. When there is a video recording of you chasing someone down, calling them the N-word, yes, you should be held accountable for that. Especially if your behavior is in patterns and it hasn't changed. Yes, microaggressions is in general with anything. Like somebody saying to me, like, you would look nicer if your butt was smaller. That's a microaggression. And racial microaggression is different. That has to do with stereotyping a race. I can't believe with all the things this person has done and said that anyone expects her to own. I'm sorry, I always lose the comments. Like, how did that go all the way up there? Anyone expects her to own, acknowledge, and apologize for her behavior. In no way. You're right. Juicy ant covered watermelon. I like that name. And the picture. You're right. No way do I expect her. To be honest with you, I really don't know her. I don't know her. All I know is that I met her and I didn't like, I don't know. I just didn't like her aura. There was just something about her. We didn't vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you meet somebody, you vibe, some you don't. I thought she was very nice. She seemed very nice. And the moment, and for all of you, and I will even link the live in the description below, for all of you who listen to her still complaining about something that happened like a month or two ago when she first came on my panel, when it was her and Natasha going at it with each other, I tried my best to be fair. And in no way, shape, or form am I going to let somebody make me feel like I'm a horrible person because my live didn't go the way they wanted it to. And the comment section, you guys, that was literally my first or second live. I was not paying any attention to the comment section. All I was focused on is those two going at it. And to be honest with you, she shouldn't have been focused on the comment section either. Period. Why in the hell are you focused on why are you so focused on the comment section? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not focused on the comment section. Well, she let all these people disrespect me. First of all, you're acting like we were friends. We were never friends. just because you're up on my panel, there's people disrespecting you. Sorry. Like, that's the last thing I was paying attention to. All I was paying attention to was the people that were on the panel. And at that time, I don't think I had that many mods. I think I only had one, maybe two at the most. I don't even know. But you guys would have to refer back to that live and make your own opinion of it. That's all I can tell you. You can't just go by what people say, especially people like her. She's obviously not a credible person. So refer back to the live and watch it yourself. Ask my priest for holy water and rice after watching. She was rude and so immature about it. I watched it. She throws a temper tantrum, then lashes out. Yeah, because I was getting like literally, you guys, I was so overwhelmed with that live. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Because everything just happened so unexpectedly. So there's people on panel and I'm trying to concentrate on those two. And she was literally messaging me. If you go back and refer to that live, all you'll hear is my messenger. Ding, 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 ding. Because she kept messaging me saying, are you going to let me talk now? How long are you going to let her talk? Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Why are you letting her? Why are you? It was so stressful, you guys. You have no fucking clue. You don't have a clue. So I don't give a shit what she thinks. She can talk about that all she wants. And I don't know why the fuck she's talking about it now. Why is she talking about it now? They're friends now. What the hell difference does it make? She sounds like she's foaming at the mouth when she throws her temper tantrums and rants. I'm just basically saying that I was just focused on that. It was very, very stressful because, it's a position that I knew that the two of them didn't like each other, and to have them both on panel, that's pretty much was my ultimate focus. And then I'm getting messages, and then I think somebody else started messaging me too. I think it was one of her own mods that were messaging me at the same time. I'm like, oh my Lord. Whew, that was a stressful time, but it is what it is. If you want to, form your own opinion, please do so. I will link it down in the description below. And also another thing for people that keep saying, I use drama for content. Lord Jesus. I gotta change my battery. Sorry, you guys. I just can't, you guys. It's just... Sorry, guys, I'm changing my battery. Drama for content is exactly what YouTube is. For the most part, yep. In some way, shape, or form, absolutely, Stephanie. But how in the hell? This is the only thing I'm saying is, if out of all of the things, you guys, that was said about me from her that night, of everything she said, how she bashed me, talked about my makeup, everything, bashed my looks, everything that she said that night, there were so many people that messaged me that were so upset. And like I said, thank you guys. I love you. You guys are amazing, and I appreciate you wanting to stick up for me. But here's the thing, you guys. Out of all the things that she said about me that night, why do you think I picked Do you think I just randomly picked what she said? Out of everything she said about me, the horrible things that she said, why do you think I just did a little video about that example? That part? Because I wanted to educate people. I wanted people to know that this is an example of racial microaggression behavior. It is. Out of everything that she said about me, the live is deleted. She deleted the live, but don't think for a second that people don't have that live film or recorded. So at the end of the day, everything that you said, every way that you bashed me, if I wanted to use that situation for content and drama, then I would have. I took something that you said that was very negative, a racial microaggression thing that you said, and used it to try to educate people. These are the things that you don't say. You don't automatically assume that a Black woman is wearing a foundation that's too light for her skin. You just don't do that. Anytime I see something that I can use and maybe turn it into something positive, that's what I'm going to do. If I can turn that into something positive, which is educating people, I'm going to do that. The real Tia Simone is, I don't play. Period. If you do something wrong, I'm going to call you out. That's it. I don't play. I don't let people just talk to me and bully me and treat me any kind of way. Now, I will pick and choose my battles. I'm not going back and forth with that person. It's just not happening. But at the end of the day, I took that perfect example and used it to show people, don't do this shit. Do not automatically assume, people, you're right. People, I agree with her. People have problems matching their foundation on a day-to-day basis. They just do. And I'm not saying that sometimes I don't, but I have been doing makeup for 10 plus years. And this comes back to a comment that I'm going to read you guys, and I'm going to show you guys something else. But I've been doing makeup for 10 plus years. Okay. And I will tell you right now that the makeup industry has come a long way when it comes to having shades for Black women. Okay. Now, if you are really, really, really light, a really, really light person, it's harder for them too, but not as there literally used to be hardly no shades for Black women to choose from. None. So to automatically assume, then Fenty came along and they changed the game. Fenty came along and she said, we ain't about to do this here. Rihanna's like, we ain't about to do this. It came out with how many damn shades? What, like 100? I don't even know. 100 different shades. Okay. And she changed it all. She changed it so damn much to a point where people, okay, any brand that comes out with shades less than Fenty are getting criticized for it. Rihanna changed the game with that, okay? She changed it all. But, it was very hard for us Black women to find a foundation. And to be honest with you, if you don't want to, maybe you don't like Fenty foundation, it's still a challenge, but not the way that it used to be. To automatically assume that a person is wearing a lighter foundation, that's jacked up. What the heck's wrong with this stupid phone? Stupid weather. Okay, I'm going to show you guys something. Let me share my screen here. I'm going to turn off my camera just to save battery for a second, you guys. Rihanna changed the game. That's my opinion. I learned when I realized a channel is negative, bye-bye. Too many good channels. Don't feed your brain with junk. Absolutely be real. Rihanna set the bar high. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. So many cosmetic companies don't even provide a good range. It's still a huge deal. It is. It really, really is. If someone's apology is valid, they would take it as an opportunity to listen and learn. I agree so much, YouTube segments. I don't understand why it's so hard for people to just say, you know what, maybe I should rethink this. Just like my recent post that I just did. Al Capone. What was it? And it describes me perfectly. That's why I posted it. And I've posted it before on Facebook. Don't take my kindness for weakness. I am kind to everyone. I try to treat everyone with respect. Had Mandy not called me the C word, I would still be cool with her till this day. But I don't play that shit. And I don't want anything to do with it. I would still be cool with her. I would have no problem with her. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind to everyone. But if you are unkind to me, nice, weak is not what you're going to remember about me. I'm always going to stand up for myself and what's right. I will pick and choose my battles. I'm not going to keep going back and forth and blah. I'm not going to do that because what's the point? But I wanted to take this situation and turn it into something positive by just showing people, look, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? Don't automatically assume maybe you think this person is wearing the wrong foundation. Don't automatically assume that she's purposely wearing lighter foundation. That's just not right. I don't care how you look at it. It's just not right. Okay. First, I'm going to show you guys something here. Can you guys see the screen? Oh, okay. Forgot. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can see this. I just had to check a message real quick. Sometimes I can't see my messages. Okay. I am going to go to YouTube. Okay. I am going to go. There's the quote that I put right there. Okay, so there's awesome subscriber that I want to show you something, and I think I pinned the comment. Yes, I did. So this is, what is that? Incognito? I know I'm saying that shit wrong, but you guys see it. I'm going to read it to you. I'm adding this comment because someone is saying, I've had problems finding foundation shades and I'm white. So let me explain how that is different. Black women and people of color / minorities have faced oppression and racial microaggressions for years from every institution in our community. If you notice, most drugstore makeup brands have about 3 to 5 shades of dark foundation and 35 shades of light foundation. On top of that, white women are able to mix shades if need be to find their correct color. However, Black women cannot do that. In fact, thanks to the incredible successful product launch of Rihanna's Fenty Beauty, which addressed the whitewashing of the beauty industry, and brands now launching with fewer than 40 shades of foundation are seen to be slacking. That being said, the issue is not really about foundations. It is about representation and equality. Implying that a Black woman is wearing too light of a foundation indicates she is not happy with her skin tone and it is a microaggression. The fact that people can't recognize that shows how tone deaf they are. It's always the ones who've never had to experience any improprieties in life with the loudest mouth. When a Black woman politely explains how they faced racial microaggressions, you should not be discouraging or questioning their experience. You should be supporting them and asking them, what can you do to help? Anyways, Black Lives Matter. Literally, she fucking nailed it. Thank you, Incognito. I know I'm saying that wrong. You are the epitome of excellence, brilliance. This comment blew me the fuck away. And don't get me wrong, all of your comments are absolutely amazing. And I thank you guys so much for your support. But this comment right here is in depth and showed me, okay, that there are people out there who get it. Okay, there is. And I'm going to read some more comments. I never knew this spelling of, I guess I thought it was gypped or gypped, but the correct spelling. This woman, Tia, is it better to send you something later on Facebook, or is there a channel email? You can email me, or you can, all of my social media links are in my, on my channel in the About section VM. So you're welcome to anytime. And I stay up late too. So let's read some more with what I posted here. I'll show you guys what I posted. I'm sorry. Let me make this clear to those of you. This is me that I posted on my community post because I wanted to get this straight. Like, people need to quit confusing the two. Let me make this clear to those of you that keep coinciding racism with microaggressions. Racial microaggression is defined as pattern of behaviors by individuals in a majority group, typically white people, that undermine, belittle, stereotype, or insult those in minority groups, usually Black, Asian, etc., which is not to be confused with racism, which is hating another human being because of the color of their skin. When I made the mistake of saying the R word last night, I immediately apologized because it's never okay to use that word. However, I find it very revealing that people can blatantly disregard how others can have a 2-hour live stream bashing my looks and then use me using the R word to deflect for their racial microaggressions behaviors. Keep the same energy. Instead of making excuses for people who bully, threaten, harass, and lie, how about educate yourself on the subject instead of making excuses? Because your excuses make it look as though you yourself racially stereotype as well. Just a thought. And I'm going to read you guys a couple more of these comments here. There was so many great comments. You explained this perfectly, Beauty. I agree. This is from my mod Boston. I agree with with what people are telling you to ignore and not get sucked into this sick cycle. But this is very important. It's a very important topic to bring awareness to and educate people. I know that's exactly what you're doing, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much, Boston. This is from 3-Boy Mom. Racism is a belief. Okay. Racism is a belief that you know is wrong. Microaggressions are the subtle words and beliefs that you've heard or held over your life that you probably didn't even understand that was wrong, right? Saying things like, why are you so loud and angry all the time to a Black woman? Or you speak good English. There you go. You speak good English to a Hispanic person. I'm not a racist. I'm colorblind. They are all ingrained beliefs. Thankfully, we are finally having discussions about that. Most people really don't mean to do it. She's correct. Most people don't. There are usually unintentional ways that groups of people have that sneaky label on other groups. My mother always told me being ignorant is not someone's fault. Staying that way is people shouldn't be scared. Wait a minute. What'd I do? I skipped someone. My mother always told me being ignorant is not someone's fault. Staying that way is. People shouldn't be scared to have their eyes open. If you are, it's because you want to stay blind. Once you know something is hurtful to someone, you become accountable. If it continues, rock on, Colleen. Such supportive comments, and thank you so much, you guys. So I'm going to go read you guys an article really, really quick. Good night, Be Real. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you again, sweetie. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. I'm going to see something real quick. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to pull something else up real quick, you guys. You can't hear me? You guys can't hear me? This is a beautiful community. I love to be around happy, positive people. Thank you, Rose Gold. We're so happy that you're here, too. They typically don't have any negative intent or hostility behind them. That's why it's not classified as racism or stereotypes, but microaggression. Exactly. Juicy. And I'm just going to call you Juicy Girl because that's a long name, but I still love your name. You guys can't hear me? Okay. All right, so where'd the article? Oh, never mind. Okay, so I want to read you guys something really quickly. Can you see this? Okay. Almost everyone. This is an article, and it's called "There is no race card to play because race is intertwined into everything," which is true. And this is by Cherie Atchison. Okay, so almost everyone will have heard the phrase "playing the race card," whether you are a person of color or not. It is used to dictate that someone is exploiting racist or anti-racist attitudes or beliefs, and that they are bringing race into a conversation that isn't relevant to or warranted into win an argument. This would be laughable if it wasn't damaging. Given the rise of Black Lives Matter of the Black Lives Matter movement globally since the death of George Floyd at the hands of police brutality. What is wrong with me today? We've seen the phrase battered around in the media, online, and likely in your social circles. People who have the privilege to discount their race altogether as part of their journey because it is viewed as the default are now faced with conversations around a topic that they either have directly avoided for years or they do have. Want the background or context to discuss are using this phrase to derail conversations and recenter their experiences and viewpoints. This ultimately changes the conversation to one that apparently race doesn't play a role. I'm here to argue that there isn't a conversation that race isn't a relevant point in, because for the people it affects, there isn't a scenario where race doesn't play a role. Please remember that means everyone. Your race plays a crucial role in your life and journey, either positively or negatively. Keep in mind, positively can mean simply an absence of having to acknowledge it. And then here she is with her experience. As a woman of color, adopted by white parents, raised in an overwhelming white country, I have heard this phrase all too often, and it ignites a certain kind of anger within me. I am, what is Sri Lanka? I know I'm saying that wrong. I am Sri Lankan origin, adopted by two white Irish people and raised in Ireland. Wow. My race and ethnicity has always been a part of my conversation, any conversation, because it is a part of me. I am a woman of color, not singular a woman, not singularly a person of color. That intersection quite literally makes me who I am. I do, however, have the clear privilege of Western sounding name and a thick Irish accent, which hides my ethnicity. If I'm on the phone or until you see me in person or on a video call or in a photo, I am regularly tarred as one of the good ones, which is somehow supposed to be a compliment, but is really just stereotyping and racism. The treatment I had growing up was directly linked to unexpectedness, of the color of my skin in place where there were little to no other people of color. As areas became more multicultural in Ireland, this unexpectedness changed from being shocked at my skin color to being shocked that my voice came from someone who looked like me. While still being adopted has given me a wealth of privilege and opportunity that I am incredibly grateful for, it also meant I faced racism throughout my entire upbringing and life. There have been many conversations when I was younger when raising instances of being bullied that have been responded to by, you're playing the race card. That has nothing to do with it. Despite being called the N-word or other racial slurs, with logic being children will bully other children for anything. Certainly in my adult life, I've faced similar responses where I have shared instances of discrimination or unfair treatment because I am a woman of color working a heavily white male-dominated industry. I cannot say that. Anomaly. This experience is not one off. Through those four words, people are able to derail a very serious and needed conversation. But why does this happen? Uncomfortableness around race. People mostly white people, are uncomfortable about talking or acknowledging race. 2020 has shown us this very clear and prominently. When police brutality was continuously a storyline, anti-Asian hate crimes rose by 21% in the first 3 months of 2020 due to racist stereotypes surrounding COVID-19. And studies reported how Black people are 4 times more likely to die from COVID. Many, mostly white people, were shocked that this was an issue or uttered a dismayed statement of, I can't believe this is happening, or we're all one race, the human race. Many of us, mostly white people, sat back and knew that this was new news. We were saddened and angry, but not shocked. Last year, unearthed a lot of white guilt. For progress, we need more than that. Guilt is not useful if it is simply remains and festers. Unsurprisingly, white guilt can cause white people to gaslight people of color when issues of race come to light, because it highlights, one, treatment that they have not and will not experience, and two, that they have benefited from systems and societies that are ingrained with racism. The uncomfortableness around race stems in what it causes many people to do acknowledge the discrimination, violence, and mistreatment of people of color at the hands of white people. Let's not forget that racism can be perpetuated between other ethnicities. For example, anti-Blackness and colorism is prevalent in many Asian communities, where those with lighter shades of skin are preferred. Globally, it's notable the difference in treatment of darker skinned Black women versus lighter counterparts in Hollywood, in technology systems, and in prison sentences. To discount race is how we all live, work, and exist with fascist. Sorry, guys, my contacts suck. Fascist. This is why the statement playing the race card is simply a derailment tactic. I agree. Moving forward, we need to all accept that society greatly advantages some while simultaneously disadvantaging others. Putting our heads in the sand and pretending this doesn't happen is dangerous, useless, and selfish. We must have those conversations around race and how it affects our day-to-day lives, either positively or negatively. Alongside this proclaiming colorblindness or not seeing race is dangerous and fascist. I know I'm saying that wrong. It pretends that the differences don't exist and that we all start from the same starting line. We do not, and we must stop pretending that we do. Life's difficulties are not limited to any one group of people. No one is disagreeing that you can be white and have a difficult life. I agree with this 100%. The intersection of gender, ethnicity, race, sexual orientation, disability, age, caring responsibilities, etc., affect everyone. There are examples of this every day. However, ethnicity is not one of the things that makes white people's lives difficult. We should not and cannot continue to derail important conversations with flippant proclamations. Did I say that right? Proclamations of playing the race card. We must do more collectively, and we must do it better. Wow. Boston, thank you so much for this article. Like, literally, this article is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, this woman is amazing. Her name is Cherie Atchison. And I will, if I remember, I'll try to link this below, you guys. So that is why the phrase, I don't see color, can be damaging even though it's well intended. Yes, YouTube Psych Miss. So I'm going to exit out of here real quick. that's just like, you guys, if I were to say, what if I was to say, God, it's hard for me to, is that it? Yeah. Thank you for putting that in the comments. Is that the next one? I don't think I can click on that though. I'm trying to stay awake, but I've had a long day. I will rewatch the replay. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Kimberly, for being here. I think. Oh. Okay. Well, that's basically, you guys get it, right? Like, that was just an amazing article. That was a good read, and I'm definitely going to have to unpin the comment. What comment? Remember to check your boobs often. That's true. That's very true. I try to. I don't always succeed at it, but I try to. But that definitely gives you guys like a good example of why topics like this is so important. I basically wanted to turn that into something positive by educating you guys. It's not to drag things on or create drama or anything like that. That was literally just to show you guys that this is the kind of things that you should not do. It's wrong on so many levels. And to be honest with you, it does. Just like that author just said, it happens in the Black community too. You know what I mean? Like, it happens as far as, lighter skinned women, they get treated differently than darker skinned women. And I consider myself like in the middle. I'm not light skinned, but I'm not dark skinned. You know what I mean? I used to be deeper skin when I was younger. As I got, older, it seems as though, like, because my mother was really light. So, and my mother got lighter as she aged. So I guess that's what's happening with me. But regardless, I think, all skin tones are beautiful. The thing is that I wanted for you guys to see that what she did, okay, is not something that I'm not used to. Let's put it that way. I've dealt with it my whole entire life. It's just natural for me. It's something that I'm used to. Is that a good thing? No. But that's not the first time I've heard that from somebody. That's not the first time I've heard anybody say something like that to me. And it damn sure ain't going to be the last. But to sit there and talk and act as though you didn't say anything else, if I wanted to, I would definitely be talking about the horrible things that she said. And like I said, and I'm just going to tell you guys, yes, it's a whole new different issue. You are absolutely right. Colorism is real, and it is very, very, it happens a lot in the Black community as a whole. And that goes back to white supremacy. And we can talk about that, you guys. I'm not afraid to talk about these topics. It's important. This is why people need to be educated on this topic, because it needs to stop. I agree 100%. And I miss Jennifer's comments. I was referred as the white girl in my neighborhood, and when I asked kids to call me by my name, they just looked at me confused, like I was different, right? And that it happens by all races. You know what I mean? I understand what you're saying, because even like when I would go to my brother's house, and my brother lived in the hood, there was always racism exists in every race, you guys. No one's saying that, only this certain race that, or like only white people are racist, or only black people are racist. Racism exists everywhere in every race. But race is always going to be an issue, you guys. It just is. My ex-husband's paternal grandmother that was Hispanic was biased towards her own race. Being dark-skinned, she encouraged her grandchildren to marry white Anglos. I never understood it. Did I say Anglos? I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Yes. I've seen that a lot too. Growing up, like my one friend, she was Puerto Rican and her mother was exactly the same. So many people are unaware that they're even doing it. And if you're unaware about something, you won't change it. Exactly. That's all I'm trying to say, you know? And yes, colorism is definitely a whole, I definitely would love to talk to you guys about that as well. She believed her dark skin was a negative. Yeah, that exists. And there's a lot of self-hate in the Black community, I think. And just like in that article I just read, what an amazing fucking article, man. I'm going to read that again. Like that article was, wow. I definitely am going to be a fan of hers because she was amazing. Very blunt and straightforward. But, you know, self-hate is even things that I dealt with growing up around a majority of white people until I had my mother preaching to me, you know, and friends and family and things like that. So it is very, very, like, if you look at people like Michael Jackson, a lot of people say that, first of all, I guess Michael Jackson actually had a skin disease. I don't know if that's true or not, you guys. I don't know. But I'm not sure if that's the case. But using someone like Little Kim for an example, like if you see Little Kim, wow, has she changed? Like her nose, you know, obviously her skin is lighter, and just everything about her appearance changed. And she actually admitted that when she was younger, a lot of men would complain about her dark skin, or they would cheat on her with more European looking women. And that ended up being her insecurity. So she ended up making herself look more European. It's heartbreaking, you guys. It is. It's very heartbreaking. However, you know, her even using, well, there are things that Black people can get, like injections, to make themselves look lighter, and it works a lot faster. But then that makes it hard for people like for other people because automatically, just because your skin is light doesn't mean that you're doing something to your skin, or because you were darker when you were younger, you get a little bit lighter. That doesn't mean, you can't always put those two things together. And then some women actually do use different creams for their face to get rid of is it pigmentation, or what do you call those spots that you get on your skin? I can't remember, but a lot of women do that for that. I did when I was younger. I had it very badly. And like in the Asian community, they use different skin fading creams and things like that to make themselves look lighter, because in the Asian community, the racial microaggression, hyperpigmentation, thank you, Boston. The racial microaggression is lighter skin is better. And it's very much like that in Africa too. It's bad all over the place, you guys. She was beautiful when she was natural. I love natural. Yeah, I really think that she was beautiful. And even when she started getting plastic surgery, I thought she was pretty when she first started doing it. It's sort of like Kim K. When Kim K got her little plastic surgery at first, I'm like, she's still beautiful. It was very subtle looking. But then literally when you go so far that you change everything about you, your entire face, I feel like little Kim should have stopped a long time ago. You know, my heart breaks for her, but I still think she's beautiful. But wow, did she mess herself up? Like it's really sad, you guys. Okay. Y'all don't forget to show TSN love and smash like button. I have a habit of checking number of people in chat. Number of thumbs up. Sorry. I'm not trying to be bossy. That's okay. Thank you. I never have a problem with that. Thank you, just because there are now models with vitiligo. I know I'm saying that wrong. I know I'm butchered that. Walking runways. There is a very popular model, and I think she was in the one of Eminem's videos, and she's absolutely gorgeous. It's definitely looked at more accepting now, which I think is great. But yes, there are a lot of models with that. There are picture sheets. It's really noticeable in hands. He was diagnosed years ago. Yeah, that's what he supposedly had, vitiligo. And then what he did was, you know how with vitiligo, you know, it's darker spots here and then it's really, really light. We all know how vitiligo looks. Well, I guess he just ended up making his whole face light like that. But that's what he was diagnosed with. I think people should only get plastic surgery if they have a serious issue, such as a huge nose or something needing to be fixed. Be thankful for what God gave you. I agree, Rose Petal. I think that if you're not happy with something, change it. But don't go so far that you change everything about you that makes you unique and beautiful. You know what I mean? Boston, you're smarty pants. What are you talking about? But it's everything about you that makes you unique and beautiful. When you start changing those things, then that's when I have a problem. I don't have a problem with plastic surgery. I'm not saying I wouldn't get it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not afraid to say that or admit it. And I also don't like when a lot of these celebrities act as though they don't get nothing. Okay, they act as though, no, my skin is just naturally perfect like this, and no, this is because it gives little girls these preconceived notions that it just changes what a little girl looks up to. Like, all these little girls think that these women are so perfect, and they're not. Perfect doesn't exist. But these little girls are looking up to these women that they think are perfect, but they're not perfect. They're using, face filters, and they're getting plastic surgery. They don't really look like that. You know what I mean? It's so damaging. I feel so bad for little girls these days, and that it makes me kind of happy that I don't have one. Racial eraser is something erasing features that a race is born with. Right. It's called, okay, so that's very educational YouTube segments. Thank you. It's called racial erasure. I'm 52 now and I don't want surgery. I'm scared. I get it. Like, I don't think I ever would, but I don't know what I'd do if I had the money. I don't know. You know what I mean? But that is one of the big things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I do understand a lot of you guys' frustration, and I think it's amazing is delete that person. Yeah. Any comments like that, block, 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 because it's a troll and I don't like that name. Block them. Okay. Thank you, Boston. My friend got a Brazilian butt lift, had the fat from her stomach taken out and put into her booty. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I don't need that. Thank God. But okay, thank you. Yeah, whenever you see that, we all know people like to play games. So thank you. A friend of mine just paid $15,000 for a boob job, and to be honest, they don't look so great. They're too far apart. $15,000. Damn. She feels more confident now, so I'm happy for her. Yes, that's what's important. I think it's important how you feel, and when you feel good, you feel more confident. So if there's something that you want to do, do it, but don't get so carried away to a point where you take away the beauty in you, the uniqueness in you. Don't do that. Okay, so I'm going to open up the panel really quickly. What time is it? Holy shit. For a minute, because it is late. So hold on. Always paid. I paid that for boobs and a tummy tuck. Y'all, it's temporary. Fix your belly changes as you age. It's a temporary fix. Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that done just because that would be awesome if I could do that. I would like to get a tummy tuck. Boston. Oh my God, this is stupid. What I need you to the last article that you sent me, I need you to put it in the group chat, not your chat, not our chat, but the group chat. If you can do that really quick so I can bring it up and read it. Sorry, guys, I'm just charging that. Thank you. The most I've had done is having a mole on my face removed. So small, but made a huge difference when I looked in the mirror to have it gone. I know that sounds silly. No, that's not silly at all. Thank you, Boston. I'd rather spend $15,000 on a new car or go to Hawaii. Yep, to each his own, Rose Petal. I love moles, Jennifer K. So thank you, just because I love moles. So if you would have came to me and said, hey, should I get this mole removed? I would have told you no, because I think moles are absolutely beautiful no matter where it is. However, if it's something that made you feel insecure, I'm glad that you're happy, that you got it removed. But I will tell you that I love moles. I think moles are beautiful. I suggest a new car any day. Yeah, I will honestly say if I had $15,000 extra, I wouldn't get a new car. I'd probably get some Botox. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, right, Boston? I love moles. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. Unless you, and also some people have to have moles removed for medical reasons too, right? Okay, so there's another article that I want to read you guys. I think I pinned the link. Did I? I don't know. Let me check. I'm going to try to fix this camera. I got to get a new stand for this thing. Okay. Yeah, I need it. I need it. Rose gold. I need it. I don't know. I would get some Botox and what else would I get? I don't know what else I would get. I'm not gonna lie though, I would like to experience that. When I was younger, this guy used to call me Cindy Crawford. Yes, I used to love Cindy Crawford Small. That's what she was popular for. Girl, I got Botox for migraines, and I would joke about having a headache in my lips and cheeks. They didn't go for it. And then on my neck, migraines due to my car accident. I heard that they give Botox for migraines. I should do that, huh? I should pretend like I have migraines so I can get Botox. That's a good idea. Well, damn, I probably shouldn't have said it in public though, right? That was stupid, Tia. Good job. What are you thinking? But yes, you guys, I do want to know. Yo, still gotta pay for it. You do? Even if you like have insurance, if you have migraine, well, I guess that makes sense though, right? I wanted to get you guys' opinions about racial microaggression. Have you, if you've experienced it? And I do know that a lot of you guys have been very angry because of the things that she has been saying. And to be honest with you guys, the only thing I was sent or have been sent is a clip. I will not watch that. I won't watch because, when you watch those kinds of things, all it's going to do, it's just going to make you mad, right? Like, it's going to make you mad. It's going to make you frustrated because if you say something that doesn't, fit her narrative, she's going to delete the comment, right? She's not going to let you just say, well, you started with her first, or blah, 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 blah. And in the clip, she said, she knows I don't put up with that. And I don't give a fuck what you put up with. Like, this whole thing did not start because of me, you guys. I didn't start this. You know what I mean? Like, I never even mentioned her name. The only time I ever mentioned her name is if people, would ask me, are you still cool with her? No, I haven't talked to her since she called me a cunt. That's it. And I hate that word. Sorry I had to say it, but I hate that word. But from that moment, I hadn't talked to her. So that when people would ask, that's what I would tell them. I never said anything about her. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she starts talking about a live stream that happened 2 months ago. In a live stream, she was going at it with a person that she is now friends with. So what does it matter now? So when she was, talking about it, don't try to say that it wasn't a jab, because it was a jab. You were literally, people in her comment section were literally saying, I set that whole thing up, and she's literally saying, oh, I wouldn't put it past her. What do you mean that you're not insulting me? That's you're insulting me. You should have never brought up my name in the first place. I don't talk to you. So why are you bringing up my name? And yes, we do talk about drama sometimes, you guys, on this channel. But I try to keep, away from those types of things. But at the end of the day, like, it's just starting to get sickening now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like, people going at it back and forth and things like that. And I know, like, the best thing to do is to just keep your mouth shut. Like I said, I wanted to use that situation and turn it into an education, try to educate people on how wrong that is. But, I just feel like people are really dragging each other, right? Like, when does it stop? When? I've noticed she attacks anyone that feels threatened, anyone that she feels threatened by, and the mental instability is unpredictable. Wow. Who is Miss Testicle? This is when all of the trolls start coming in. Click the link, Miss Testicles. She's threatening NC's life. She's threatening NC's life and her kids, and now she's going for a visit. What the hell is that about? Sounds like a safety issue. A safety issue, Rose Gold? People have seen, trust me, it's literally a tiny group that follow. Hey, executive session. There's billions on YouTube. You got this. Absolutely. Okay. I don't know if, hold on, let me see. Okay. I don't know. Well, if you were, now, damn it, I lost the comment. Well, if you and your kids were threatened by some crazy bitch, would you have her at your house? No. I mean, I guess, what happened between them two were in the past, but no. Thank you, Boston. Thank you, Tia Simone. You are so real and so true to yourself. Don't ever change. Thank you, Boston. Oh my God. Thank you, Tia Simone. You are so real. Let me turn that down. That's my phone, you guys. It's such an important topic. Everyone needs to be aware, educated of microaggression. Thank you, Boston. I love you to death. You know I love you. Thank you for being so honest, so real, so always having my back. My mods are absolutely amazing, and I'm really, really proud. Yeah, I don't like the sound of my voice. But I'm absolutely, you are 100% right. Who said that? Who said that? Tia, their channels are drama only. There's a big difference between you and them. Thank you, just because. And thank you for coming on to say hi, executive session. I appreciate that. I don't doubt for a second that it didn't start with you. My kids even know that about me. I was here that night. Were you here then? Yeah, I I have never said anything about her, like, ever. I don't care about her, like, at all. I just don't. But it goes from that to me making a community post, and everything I said in my community post was 100% correct. Okay. And I stand by what I said on my community post, word from word. You cannot dictate and tell somebody how they should or shouldn't be running their panel. That's not how it works. And if you didn't like the way I ran my panel, and you felt uncomfortable with the comment section, you felt uncomfortable with the way I was running my panel, then why did you stay? You could have left. You could have said, deuces, I'm out. Why didn't you leave? I'm going to have to watch the replay in the morning. I wanted to watch this, but passed out. Yes, definitely watch the replay and tell me what you think. Executive session. You really kept neutral between the creators through it all. Well, I think a lot of people think it's hard to stay neutral. And I beg to differ with that, because you can stay neutral and still give your opinion. But when you're giving your opinion, you need to make it very, very aware that you have no problem giving your opinion to that other person. You know what I mean? Like, even between, Melissa is my friend and Natasha is my friend. Now, I know Melissa more than Natasha, because I talk to Melissa every single day. Melissa literally is always around, and I'm always communicating with her. So I know Melissa better, but I don't necessarily agree with what either one of them are doing. But I don't agree with what Melissa did. Not everything Melissa did, but some of the things that she did in the beginning, I think there's things that she could have done differently. But I don't think that justifies, being called fat, and just being called so many derogatory things, and being dragged, and all these horrible names that I would never repeat. No one deserves that. No one does. I understand that it is very, very hard. You have to have thick skin to be on the internet, you guys. You just do. Okay. And you don't have to respond to everything. I'm going to be honest. I think with Melissa, I think it's awesome that she's been able to maintain. It's very hard to do that, you guys. Even you guys who have emailed me were like, she lied about this, she lied about that. And it's like, I know. She shouldn't be able to do that. And then I made a comment and she deleted it. I know. But there's nothing you can do. You don't have control over what other people do on their panel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am very I consider myself as being really good friends with Melissa, and I'm cool with Natasha. But at the end of the day, you can remain neutral. You can. It is what it is. But I don't care who pulls their support from me. Okay? Because at the end of the day, if you want to pull your support from me because you disagree with me or you don't like something that I did, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine. There's nothing I can do about that, right? Let me read some of these comments real quick. I don't like not reading you guys' comments. Okay, I surely was. She kept trying to talk, and you were trying to keep one person talking at a time. She was a little kid and couldn't contain her mouth. Yes, if you guys want to form your own opinion, you can definitely refer back to that live. And like I said, I think Heather, did you post that live, Heather? That's awesome if you did. Thank you. Okay. Maybe she had nowhere else to go that night. She went for another panel to hop onto. Right, Rose Gold. I'm half asleep and only managed to be up because my baby got up. But I want to say you are beautiful inside and out, and I appreciate you talking about this, tackling this issue. Thank you so much, 3-boy mom. I appreciate you. Rose Petal. Oh boy, I'll skip the boob jobs and Botox. It's a competition for those two. Come on executive session. Boys get boob jobs nowadays. But not everyone does. So I commend you. Yeah, not everyone can, but it's not hard. As long as you're willing to be able to say to a person if you don't agree with something that they do, you know, facts and truth are neutral. They're simply biased towards the truth. Yeah, I get what you're saying, executive session. Will only get better as a society by having the hard conversations. And I want my boys to inherit a much better world. Thank you. Yes, 3-boy mom. Keep those comments coming. I'm loving them. Larry, you would look hot with some Botox. You guys are silly. In case you missed it. So which live is this? Okay, that's the article. Okay. But yes, you guys, I will definitely link that live in the description below, and you can come to your own opinion. But you know, Natasha is a drama channel. Can you take a fundamental stand? What do you mean by that, Miss Tess Tickle? You'll have to elaborate on that a little bit. People make mistakes and grow from them, but she definitely did not deserve the crap she went through. Absolutely not. I don't agree. I don't think that she deserved that. Kindness always wins over aggression. Carly says, truth. I agree completely, but I fear it's just the start every Wednesday. I fear it's just the start every Wednesday. What do you mean, Trixie, the start? It's so hard to not respond. I've been paralyzed for 2 months watching the lies, but people are finally seeing the truth. It is so hard not to respond as a creator. It is. I'm not going to lie, you know, and I have, you know, my friends / supporters who are messaging me and they're mad. So imagine how I feel. It comes to a point where, you know, you can't respond, you know, because then if you respond, then she goes there, then you go there, and you go there, and then it just never stops. NJ has some really good content. Love watching her. Me too. I love conspiracy theories. I really, really do. Larry, the best revenge is to be happy and successful and go hard. I agree. Everyone makes mistakes and it shouldn't be thrown in your face all the time. I agree, Batgirl, 100%. Hey, Boston Love, sorry I'm late. Just got done work. That's okay. Going live every every time things don't go her way is not a good look. I agree 100%. Hey, Tia, I'm sorry for everything that's going on. I wish everyone could just be nice. It seems like an easy concept, but I guess not on YouTube. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Not on YouTube. It's not going to happen. We need more people like Tia. Thank you, YouTube Psych Myths. I appreciate you so much. Just smile and wave and bring good content, and you will be up on top while they carry on like jealous holes. A-holes. You now know this live is going to be NC's new topic. I don't think so. Like I said, it's everybody is entitled to their opinion, and like I said, I don't have a problem with Natasha at all. I just wish that there was some way things could be worked out, because at the end of the day, these kinds of things aren't worth it. It's not worth it for your mental health. This has been great. I go to bed. Thank you, YouTube Psych Miss too. I appreciate you being here, and I cannot wait to talk to you again. It's disgusting, Larry. They made me sick. Lessons to be learned. God, I missed a lot of damn comments. There has to be a point where it's happened and it's done. The continued bashing, jobs and comments are unnecessary. It's like, move on, be classy. I agree, Carly. Thanks, Boston Kids. I appreciate having a place where we can have an adult conversation. Yes. Projection, Tia. And I thank you guys for being so so supportive and so positive. The racial microaggressive behavior is definitely something that's not easy to talk about. It's not. It's very uncomfortable, but it's time for us to have these uncomfortable conversations. And deflecting by saying that I'm pulling the race card, I feel like is the biggest issue. Because, and I mean, it's an issue in the world, period. You know what I mean? Whenever something goes wrong, now I'm not saying that no person plays the race card. I'm not saying that. As a matter of fact, those people that I know that most people that do play the race card mess it up for people, whatever race you are, in particular Black people, for them when they are trying to express that they've experienced racial microaggressive behavior, or, racial issues, or they didn't get a job and they had more expertise than the other person that happened to be a different color than them. And then they get the job. They don't get the job and that other person does. Like, it happens every day. But then you have other people who cry wolf, and makes it harder for other people who express what they've been through. I get it. I'm not saying that nobody plays the race card. However, when somebody expresses their opinion about something, you cannot automatically just throw at them, well, you're playing the race card. That's wrong on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a deflection in itself, and all it's doing is deflecting from the real issue. And that real issue is that you are comfortable with your racial microaggressions, and you're going to continue to be comfortable with it, and you don't want nobody telling you different. And that's not how it works, and that's how it will always continue. If people are just going to sit there and disregard and deflect and say everybody's sensitive and blah 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 blah, well, it's never going to get better. And we have to be able to have these conversations. We can't be afraid to have these conversations. No matter how uncomfortable it is, it's okay to tell people how you feel. And that's why it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to play the race card for what? What am I going to play the race card for? Because at the end of the day, you literally bullied and bashed me and made fun of my looks and called me a clown and fake, and at least your hair is real and your foundation's way too light. Like all of the things that you said, why do you think I would pick that one in particular thing out of everything that you said? Why? Because that in particular thing is what stood out to me. And I know it because I've been through it. It's not the first time that anyone has said that, and it's definitely not going to be the last. And most of the people say it because it is their microaggressive behavior to automatically think a woman wears a black woman wears a lighter foundation, way, way, way too light for your skin. So then, of course, I do a video to show, no, boo-boo, you're wrong, okay? And then that's when she started backtracking and deflecting, okay? It sucks when you're proved to be wrong. It does, but it is what it is. Own it. Exactly. Judge people on their actions. I don't think the race card exists personally. That's what I learned from the article, but I get what you're saying. I 100% agree, but I'm saying that there are some people, Boston, who automatically say it without thinking, and it could be something completely different, and then it makes it harder for other people. But I understand what you're saying, and I'm going to read this article. It stood out to you because you've heard it before, unfortunately, because it is a microaggression. The real hair comment was also a microaggression. I agree 100%. And to me, the lighter part it just really, really stood out to me to where I had to say something. If you're not a person of color who has experienced blatant racism or microaggression, you don't get to tell someone how to feel. Just because it's not your reality doesn't mean it's not a reality. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for being so highly intelligent, highly intellectual people. You guys are amazing. So I want to read this article really, really quickly, and then we're going to end this live because I don't think anybody really has any more to say. And I think you guys have definitely said a lot in the comments, but the link is still pinned. And trust and believe, we will be talking about this again. We will talk about colorism too. I'm sorry. How is it that a creator can make up with someone who threatened to kill her family and called her kid a whore, but can't make amends with MJ? Real question. That's a good question. I'll have to ask her that. I never really thought of it like that. It's a good question. It really is. Yeah, because when I let me pull up this article, because I don't really know much about that situation with MJ and Natasha. I don't know much because I really didn't pay attention, but I did do research. And like I said, I do see some things that MJ could have done differently, but there's a lot of things that Natasha could have did differently too. And, obviously they are still not getting along, and they're still not getting along. And I don't see, it is very blatantly clear that the things that other creator has done, as far as threats and things like that, MJ hasn't done half of those things. So I don't know. That's actually a really good question. And thank you. I will definitely ask her, but you're right. That is a good question. Because Mandy is kidding. But to gain subs from NC and Melissa is above that. Yes, Melissa is. She's above that. But what this person is trying to say is, why is it that one can be forgiven, but the other can't. The thing is that the only thing I can say is that I know that Mandy has apologized to Natasha. That's the only thing that I can say. I think Mandy has apologized to Natasha, so maybe that's where they made amends, and she sees it, forgiving her. However, MJ doesn't feel she has anything to apologize for, So that's the only way that I can think that, Natasha has, forgiven Mandy, but not MJ, because MJ doesn't feel she has to apologize to Natasha, and that's the only thing that I can think of. It's all about the receipts. That's what I'm saying. When when you sit there, I'm going to share my screen. When you sit there and you make these kinds of comments and sit there and say that there were people, in my chat that were saying horrible things, like, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I was paying attention to the people on panel. I guess I'll have to go back and look, whatever. But what I will say is that you should probably throw up some receipts to show what people were saying in the chat. Yes, you're right, Kathleen. At first, I thought that comment meant something different. I'm just now checking these comments. So, okay. So, did you put that in the Okay. Let's share the screen here. There is no befriending one another once you threaten to kill my family and call my daughter that. Thank you for answering. Yes, I agree. I agree with you 100%. That's just me. Proverbs and Tupac, I like your name. That's just me being devil's advocate. I'm not saying that that's even the case. I'm just saying that, that's the only thing that I can think of, is because maybe Mandy apologized to Natasha and MJ hasn't, but MJ doesn't feel she has anything to apologize for. And, I don't think MJ needs to apologize. I think it's gone too far at this point. You know what I mean? There's no reason for MJ to apologize. But that's the only reason why I think if I'm playing devil's advocate, that's what it could be. But you're right. If somebody was to threaten my family or my kids or my fiance, I would not in a million years, I don't care if they apologize. That crosses the line. You know what I mean? Like, that crosses a line with me. Like, if you apologize, I would accept your apology. Thank you. You're forgiven, and continue to move on. But would I ever speak to that person again? Hell no. But that's me. Everybody's different. Everybody is different. And there is no way in hell, if anybody threatens my life, threatens my kid's life, would I ever, ever, ever acknowledge them as ever being a friend. Ever. No. But that's just my opinion, and that's just how I personally feel. Some people choose to feel different about that. But you're welcome, Proverbs and Tupac, and I understand what you're saying. I feel the same way. But at the same time, that is, everybody's different. Proverbs and Tupac. I consider myself a forgiving person. But for my kids, I'm 100% able to hold a grudge, and I will not burn bridges, but straight destroy them bridges. See, no, I didn't get that message. Yeah, you'll have to message me because I don't know how not to do that. That's the thing. I don't know how not to do it. If I don't pull that up, I can't pull up the documents. So maybe probably try not sending me links and there, maybe send it. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. Email. Yeah. Maybe send it to me through email. Okay. So I'm going to read this really quickly. Okay. Dear anti-racist allies, here's how to respond to microaggressions. Okay. This is the last thing that I'm going to read. Because I think that this is something that needs to be yes, I don't know. I feel bad about the whole situation, but you're right. If anybody ever threatened my family, I feel the exact same way, 3-boy mom. Okay. So where was I? Okay. See, who's this article by? Christian Rogers, CNN. Okay. Once again, the title is Dear Anti-Racist Allies. Here's how to respond to microaggressions. Thank you to Boston for sending this to me. All right. So it's easy to cite the obvious racism, such as using race-based slurs or threats. But there's a more subtle and insidious form of racist stereotyping that can be hard to pin down. These stereotypes often come in the form of microaggressions, brief and commonplace verbal behavior, or environmental indignities, said Beverly Daniel Tatum, a psychologist and former Spelman College president, in a previous interview with CNN. Tatum is also author of classic books, Can We Talk About Race? And Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Oh my God, that is so wow. And that's how it is, you guys. And it's still like that till this day. Why is it that like in high school, it felt segregated. Like all of the Black people sat in one section, and then all of the white people sat everywhere else. I think I was the only Black person in high school that sat like in the middle. You know what I mean? Okay. Where was I? I don't even know where I was. Let me start over again, you guys. Okay. I'm trying to read the comments too. Okay. These stereotypes often come in a form of microaggressions, brief and commonplace verbal behavior or environmental indignities, said Beverly Daniel Tatum, a psychologist and former Spelman College president. In a previous interview with CNN, Tatum is also an author of the classic books Can We Talk About Race? And Why Are All Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Microaggressions can be intentional or unintentional and sometimes even well-meaning, but they communicate hostile, derogatory, or negative racial messages or assumptions to the receiver. The ability to even notice these instances requires educating yourself about the experiences of Black people in America and the significance behind such remarks. Here's a list of common microaggressions, the messages they send, and what to say when you hear friends or families or colleagues say them. The art of the comeback. Addressing microaggressions is more an art than a science, and it requires a lot of creativity, said Daryl Wing Sue, a psychology and education professor at Columbia University in New York City. He studies the psychology of racism and anti-racism. Microaggressions have two parts. One is the conscious communication of the initiator, which was likely intended to be a surface level compliment. Then there's the unconscious meta communication message requires what Sue described as micro interventions. I never heard that before. Micro interventions need to underline the message within the microaggression, he added. So for Allie's, micro interventions involve 3 stages, okay? And it says, make the invisible visible. Oftentimes, the perpetrator is unaware that they have engaged in demeaning or offensive comments. So you have to make that visible to them, Sue said. Yeah, I love this. What do you mean? Statistical? Are you saying you don't see microaggression? I'm going to keep reading this. Okay. Often, yes, okay, here we go. Educate the perpetrator by shifting from the focus of what the person intended to impact. Often when you turn to a person who engages with microaggression and you point it out to them, they say, that wasn't my intention at all. Wow. Okay, Boston, you done blew me away with these articles, okay? Just to let you know. You lose the argument when you focus on intention because you can't prove intent. Focusing on the impact as influenced by the significance, Sue explained, gets the perpetrator to understand what happened and how he might have caused that pain. Disarm the microaggression directly by stirring the conversation away from the problematic remark or joke. To communicate that is offensive. It's very offensive. You'd be modeling good behavior to other people present, and you can have a later conversation with that person about why his joke was inappropriate. You're so articulate, or you don't sound Black. Things that I've heard on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Hold on. So, why it's so offensive? The remark seems like a compliment, but it's offensive to a lot of Black people. They usually don't have to be that articulate for someone to say that to them, Tatum previously told CNN, when a white person says it, it usually implies they didn't expect to hear intelligence from a black person. The black person didn't fit the white person's offensive stereotype, so the white person complimented them for surprising them. What to say? I know what you meant by that compliment, but unfortunately, that connects to a larger history of people being surprised that black people can speak well, suggested Reverend Carolyn Helsel, an assistant professor of homiletics, the art of preaching or writing sermons at Austin Presbyterian Theological Seminary, an author of Preaching About Racism, a guide for faith leaders and anxious to talk about it. It's better to make your compliment something more specific about the content of someone's speech rather than commenting more generally on people being articulate, she added. Don't blame me. I never owned slaves. I've heard that, you guys, a lot. Is that what this is? Is this a book? Wow. Okay. So yes, I've heard this a lot, you guys. I've heard this statement. Don't blame me. I never owned slaves. Okay. Why it's offensive. The statement assumes that as the U.S. Civil War concluded, so did racism, when really it has continued in new forms. There are books to read on modern slavery, racism, and how white people still benefit from discrimination. What to say? I would say people aren't asking you to accept blame. Helsel suggested people are asking you to see how all of us are connected in society, and one person's disadvantage is on the other side, one person's advantage unfairly earned. So it's important to understand how the system is disadvantaged and take responsibility for working for a more just society for all. I agree. And this is a very big one too, you guys. White privilege does not exist. Why it's offensive. Differences in racial privilege show up at a personal level. 2, white privilege also means not having to stress over whether your hairstyle will cost you or a job, even an interview. It's not having to worry whether your skin color was the reason for your mortgage application denial. What to say? Ask them if they've ever had any of these experiences because of the color of their skin. Heisel suggested. All lives matter. Why it's offensive. All lives do matter, but in the context, it's black lives that seem to matter less when they're not being treated with respect. Those who respond to Black Lives Matter by saying all lives matter may be interpreting only Black Lives Matter, which isn't the case. The call to action means Black Lives Matter too. So when someone says all lives matter without acknowledging the movement point, they're ignoring the racism exemplified in police interactions that ended badly. So what to say? Utilize metaphors that have been floating around social media. Helsel suggested, when a house is on fire, the fire truck doesn't come and hose water on all the houses on the street, saying all houses matter. They've come to help the fire that's burning. Imagine at a funeral that someone is mourning the death of a loved one and you say, yeah, but my grandmother died 5 years ago. I hear that a lot too. All deaths matter. Both scenarios are insensitive to the pain of these people suffering in the movement. I'm not a racist. I have a Black friend. Why it's offensive. These statements equate racism with prejudice. Prejudice is an attitude based on stereotypes. Racism entails the policies and practices that uphold ideas of white people and superior and Black people as inferior. You may not be racially prejudiced, but knowing Black people doesn't keep you from engaging in discriminatory behavior or failing to challenge racist practices. What to say? Saying I can't be racist is denying the larger social context in which all of us are living. It's not about our individual intentions or biases, it's about our collective work. So even if we have the best of intentions, as long as we're supporting racist policies and ideas that that undergird those policies, all of us can be racist. Can I touch your hair? Why this is offensive? Curiosity is normal, but crossing personal boundaries is not. The question may seem innocuous. I think I said that right. But it can make a Black person feel as if she's an animal on display, since the perpetrator likely wouldn't ask that of a person of any other race. Inform them that such questions is an invasion of personal space. How would she feel if someone asked her? It also taps into history of Black people being treated as curiosities and animals without full rights to their own bodies. Tell them they can learn about such differences online. They can also just compliment your hair instead. With any of these microaggressions, it can be useful to try to get to the roots of the matter and have the perpetrator self-reflect by asking them why he felt the need to behave a certain way or ask a specific question. I'm colorblind. When I look at you, I don't see color. Why it's offensive. The intention is inclusive, but people of color are saying their color and identity matter and impact how they experience the world. But the statement is offensive because it could indicate that you aren't listening to or you're dismissing what people of other races are telling you. Sometimes this remark comes from people who lived during a time when recognizing race meant segregation and discrimination. We need to try different tactics because saying we're colorblind doesn't acknowledge the implicit bias that still goes on in the systematic laws and policies that have made life harder for African Americans and other people of color to feel like they're able to fully survive and thrive. To say I'm colorblind is to dismiss, ignore, and make invisible the pain and suffering of people of color. And this is the last one I'm going to read, you guys, okay? But this is actually a really good one. Clutching your purse, dodging while passing a Black man, or unnecessarily calling the police. You know, like being a Karen. And to be honest with you, this happens to me as well. Like I could be in Ulta and my fiance and I have no problem getting, whatever the fuck I want in Ulta. And the girls will literally be watching me, and I will literally be watching someone still right in front of their face because they're too busy watching me. And I'm not about to steal. I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Why it's offensive. These behaviors suggest that Black men are menacing. They stem from a fear that responds to a stereotype classifies Black men as threats. So if you're present during a situation and tensions are high, de-escalate the situation by asking the perpetrator to take a deep breath and explain to you what makes them feel the person is a threat to them. Doing so invites them to reconsider and reprogram their gut response before calling anyone. If the authorities do come, stick with the person perceived as a threat, though. Through that experience, speak on their behalf regarding what actually happened and act as a witness for what happens during the questioning. Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a very good article, and that was by Christian Rogers on CNN, and I love that article. It was bomb. Thank you for sending it to me. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to stop the screen share. Okay. So, what do you guys think of that? Yes, that's definitely happened to me a lot. Like if I'm at a store, the people will literally and it's not all the time, but it happens more often than not. Or there will be times that, what was it that my fiance and I just bought that was expensive? Oh, our new phones. We just bought our new phones. And don't get me wrong, the girl was really, really nice. But my fiance just bought both of our phones full price. And we got 3 lines. It's a secret, though, for my son's birthday, but whatever. Anyway, but my fiance is like, how much is it? How much is it a month? Which she lied about how much it was a month. But my fiance just wanted to buy the phones outright, and she's like, well, you'll pay this much a month for the phone. And he's like, well, how much is it all together? And she kept playing with the price. First she would say one price, and then she would say another price. So then finally I told her, I said, look, we can afford it. Just tell us the price. Okay. Because it was almost as if she was looking at us like we couldn't afford it. And that is a stereotype. And literally when we walk around, I don't know why, because I know we don't look like we can't afford shit, but that's literally what she thought. And, he bought them outright. And there's been times, like if I'm walking in Sephora, I have seen people steal right in front of the people who work in Sephora, but they're so busy watching me that it goes right past them. It happens all the time. Even, and my fiance notices it more, because if we're in a makeup store, if he's not looking with me, like he'll go look at cologne or something, but he pays attention to his surroundings and how people act towards me. And he sees it right away, and then sometimes I see it and sometimes I don't. See, I'm falling asleep, but I wanted to stop in and send you and those in chat wishes for a good night and sweet dreams. P.S. I'll catch the replay. Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. You are so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate the super chat. So thank you so much. But yeah, they're so busy watching me that people are, this white girl over here is literally stealing right in front of your face. You should probably be watching her, because I ain't about to take nothing. I don't have to, Hi, beautiful Tia. Finally got on here time from work. Oh, hey, Lori, how are you? Thank you for being here. Articles like this are such an important read. It's mind-opening. It is. I love it. And especially that cafeteria part, because it's true. I don't know if it's still like that in high school today, because it's been a while, but in 3 years, my 10-year-old will be in high school. So I guess we'll see. But in high school, it was always like that. All the Black people sat on one side, and then the white people would sit everywhere else. And I used to hate that. So I used to just take turns. Like I would sit, on one side, but usually I would sit in the middle, because like that's stupid. Like I never understood that. I worked for a veterinarian for 20 years. I'll never forget the day I had 2 men, one white, one Black, whose pets both needed major surgery. He made me get a deposit from one and told the white man he was, and I'm missing the rest of the comment, James Kelwakian. I don't know. I can't pronounce that last name. Basically, you're meaning 3-boy mom that he made get the deposit and then told the white man he didn't have to get a deposit. Yeah, I would like to read the rest of that. Both needed major surgery. He made me get a deposit from one and told the white man he was good to go. 3 days later, he got a hard lesson when the Black man paid in full and the white man left without paying. Lord Jesus. You see what I'm talking about? You know, these are things, unfortunately, that happen every day, you guys. It really does. That is such a disheartening thing to hear, but of course, I'm not surprised. Referring to Sephora, I tend to shop at Ulta because I see all the racial profiling at my local one too. Yes, they racial profile a lot. I don't know, man. Now it's different. The cafeterias are more or less mixed. Sure, you get some degree of segregation, but generally not too segregated. Well, that's good. I mean, I hope so. I'm just saying, back in the day when I graduated 2000, it was a little bit different. You know, it was very segregated. But I'm not exactly sure what qualifies as segregated. When one race is sitting on one side away from any other race in another, that's what segregation is. You know what I mean? But I read that. Thanks, Goose. We both proceeded to tell her exactly what her intention was, and she was disgusting for it. Unfortunately, yes. That's so messed up. 3 more. That is so messed up. Well, James is a pretty normal name, so I can say James, but the last name, it's a little bit hard to pronounce, and I apologize that I can't pronounce it right. Some stores have a code they call. Really, Heather? This is such an interesting conversation, you guys. I'm so glad that you guys were open to this. And I'm going to end it by saying this. I'm not saying that everyone racially microaggressive behavior, I'm not saying everyone is like that. I'm saying that I really think that it's, for some people, it's purposely done, but for the majority, it's not. Sometimes when you do that, you don't even know that you're doing it. And it takes a person to point that out and say, hey, look, this is an example of racial microaggression. You're literally stating that my foundation is way, way, way too light for me. And you've never seen me without foundation, for one. So how do you know? Okay. And for two, why would you assume that? You know what I mean? You're assuming that because you think that most, that Black women when they wear lighter foundation, it's because they want to be light or they want to be white. And regardless of whether you believe that or not, that is what that means. That's what racial microaggressive behavior means. And that is what you just did. So instead of making excuses for it, because one thing I have noticed with this person is she's always a perpetual victim. Like, it's never no one else's fault. So basically, it's not your fault that you said what you said. It's my fault, and I'm pulling the race card. Now, first it was, my foundation's too light, and then when I made you look stupid by uploading that video and showing that my foundation is just fine because you thought that I was wearing a foundation that was so light for my skin. Like, it's ignorance. It's nothing but ignorance. And one after one, I literally just annihilated you by showing you you're wrong. And even in my comment section, she literally said, I'm sorry you feel this way, but first of all, if you're going to say sorry, don't say but. Because if you say but, that eliminates the whole reason. You might as well not say sorry at all, because you're literally making excuses for your apology. And then you're going to say stop twisting things to fit your narrative. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably something that she just learned to say. And second of all, how am I twisting things? I don't have to twist anything. You literally showed everyone when you bashed me and when you made fun of me and when you called me a clown. Do you think I care about that? That's what people say to others in the makeup industry. It happens every single day, and I'm okay with that. Everything that you said, the only thing I had a problem with, the only thing that made me want to speak up is when you said I wear a foundation way too light for my skin. And you were wrong. You failed miserably. And the proof, okay, because I come with receipts, and the proof is on my channel. Because there is no way that I'm going to sit there and tolerate that kind of abuse, because ultimately that's what it is. I don't have to paint narratives. You already made it clear to everybody what type of person you are. You know how many people were messaging me saying, she's saying this. I had people so upset that you were talking about me so badly, but yet when you delete a live, do you think it doesn't exist? Do you think that when you delete a live, that means you didn't say it? That's not how it works. Maybe in your brain, but that's not how it works. What you put on the internet is forever. And I'm sure that there is more than one person that I know of that recorded that live that you did. Just because you delete a live doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You still did it. You still said those horrible, horrible things. And you can keep saying horrible, horrible things. But when you make racial, microaggressive comments, I'm going to call you out. And I'm going to use it, turn it into something positive, and educate people on that type of ignorance. And that's it. It's that simple. It didn't have to be this way, you think I wanted it to be this way? I don't think that, I don't know her, and I don't want to know her. All I know is that she's done like 2-3 lives, one deleted, literally one live with her explaining herself, and then the next is I just can't. I don't have time for it. But all I will say is that you can talk about me, you can talk about my looks, you can talk about anything. But when you start making those kind of comments and being that ignorant, I'm going to call you out on it. Okay? I'm used to people talking about my makeup and saying this and saying that. What else are you going to say? I'm a good person. I don't betray people. I don't threaten people. I try and hope that one day everyone will get along, but who knows if that's ever going to happen. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't have anything to be ashamed of in my life. And that's why it's easy for you to talk about my looks, you, and the disgusting things that you said and the disgusting things that those people said in the comments, which you better not ever come on my motherfucking live, because I see every one of y'all motherfuckers. Don't come in my chat. Stay the fuck off my channel. Okay? But at the end of the day, you can still keep talking and say horrible things about me and bash me and call me a clown and say you don't like the way I do my makeup. But the proof is on my motherfucking channel. Hold on, I got to turn on the camera before we go. You guys are starting to figure me out now. I've just never dealt with so many just horrible people. Like, I've never seen anything like this before. Like, why are people so, I don't even know. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about? Oh, shit. I sound like an idiot. I know. Right now, trying to explain myself, like, why do people act like this? Like, I know people, are entitled to their opinion, and I don't have a problem with people having an opinion. But it's the lying that bothers me. Anyone who believes what spews out of her mouth is just unintelligent as her. I agree, Carly. 100%. I'm not going to say that, we all get hurt. It is what it is. Life is like that. We're all going to get hurt. And I know that a lot of people have been hurt on the internet. It's life. But, I've just never seen anything like this, you guys. Like, I never have. And I think sometimes some of the people who are really upset, or when they emailed me or they're telling me their stories, I think a lot of them are just, maybe frustrated, like I said, because it's very frustrating when somebody's lying and there's nothing you can do. But the best thing, excuse me, that you can do is ignore, right? Okay. All right. So I'm going to read a couple more comments and then we're going to end this because it's late. But what an amazing conversation. So much fun. My laugh is crazy. I got to stop talking into my phone. It's jealousy, plain and simple. Right, Rose Petal? Thank you, sweetie. It's got nothing to do with race. It's the foundation shades. Those were exact words. Yeah. And, don't get me wrong. When it comes to foundation shades, it took me a while to be able to match my skin tone. And with me, it's hard because with my skin tone, it's very unique, but it's actually really not. It's more of my concealer than anything. But it took me a long time to be able to find my right shade. Don't get me wrong. Like, my favorite right now is the Too Faced foundation. And the reason why I don't do Fenty, which I haven't tried Fenty's hydrating foundation, but the reason why I don't do Fenty is because I don't like matte foundations because I have really, really dry skin. So, yeah, it definitely has to do. There are a lot of people who have trouble with matching their foundation, However, it's not hard to match your foundation, especially, I'm not going to lie, especially for a white person. It's not as hard or as challenging as it is for Black women, or minority women that have pigmentation to their skin. It's a little bit harder for us because we're limited. We're limited to a lot of shades unless you specifically go for Fenty. Like I said, Fenty, I don't like their foundation. So, but their hydrating foundation, I have to try. I want to say ignore, but I think calling the people out is important too, so others are blinded by their ignorance. You are beautiful, Tia. Thank you so much, Char. So are you, sweetheart. Yes, I love Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Only one I use. It's the only one I use. Let me show you guys real quick before we go. This is the Born This Way Too Faced undetectable medium to full coverage. I don't like full coverage foundation because it makes my face look weird. But this is in the shade Golden Tan, and it's oil free. If you're looking for a good foundation, this is good. But for a while, they didn't have this many shades. They didn't. Jackie Aina actually came and help them add more shades to their line. When Jackie Aina worked with Too Faced, and Jackie Aina is, if you don't know who she is, she's a beauty influencer, absolutely gorgeous. And her skin is just this deep, beautiful, she's just, never mind. But she's just gorgeous. And she worked with Too Faced for them to expand their shade range. So once they expanded their shade range, I was able to find my shade. But, you know, we were limited to the shades that we could choose from. And incognito, you missed it, but I did. If you want to go back and watch the replay, I read your comment that I pinned. Your comment was phenomenal. And I don't know if you were here for that. If you were, I'm sorry I missed it. But your comment was amazing. And I just want to say thank you. That comment was just, it blew me away. Like, I was speechless. So I read that too on the live. So my daughter got her eyebrows tattooed on. They look amazing. I've been thinking about doing that. I never used to leave the house without makeup. Now I'm lucky if I put it on. I love the way you do your makeup. Lovey, I love your looks. Oh, thank you, Rose Gold. I just love makeup. I'm obsessed with it. So I don't have a problem matching my foundation. I used to in the past, but it's, don't get me wrong, you guys, stores are getting a little bit better, but they still got a long way to go. I'm gonna keep it real. They got a long way to go. But like I said, and just like Incognito is the one who really said it. Fenty was the one who raised the bar and made it to where all of these other brands, like, they were shitting on these brands, and they still are. They still are. They came out with so many shades that any brand that comes out with shades after, or when they launch shades, if it's not like Fenty, they suck. Thank you so much. Seriously, I'm going to watch the replay, but wanted to pop in and watch as much as I could. You're amazing. Thank you. And so are you. Thank you so much. Like, I love people that are able to at least try to see things differently and, just try to understand, even if, it happens every day. Racial microaggressions happen every day. Microaggressions happen every day. But when you stop and you actually try to understand where somebody's coming from, that's an amazing gift, you guys. It is. Can we all agree that the DMV purposely uses a filter that makes you look hideous? Yes, they do, don't they? You're silly as hell, Heather. You make me laugh. Yes, thank you. I definitely will be getting back to makeup when I start filming. It's just a little bit harder to do when I'm live. I never used to leave the house without, oh, never mind, I read that. But what if it's 6502? What the hell does that mean? Because of the type of woman Tia is, period. Thank you. Watched that video and literally said out loud, dang, she done made a facial wipe. The mic drop heard around the tubes. Yes, you did. That was so funny, girl. You made me laugh when you said that. That comment was bomb too. This whole situation made me so angry. Like, the ignorance is just gross. Hopefully some can learn to change their behavior. I hope so too. Like I said, I don't want to keep going tit for tat with this girl. Like I said, I don't know her. I don't want to know her. We're going to move on from the situation. And all I can tell you guys is, if you want to say something to her, that's on you. It's your decision. If she was to ever say anything, if you want to, you can. But I encourage you guys, if somebody is saying things that you don't like, just click out. Don't watch. You know what I mean? Because I know how that is when you're supportive of somebody and they're talking about somebody that you adore and you know that they're not like that. So then you just get mad, and either you're going to say something, but if you sit there and continue to watch, it's just going to make you more angry. And the only reason why it's making you angry is because you know it's a lie. You know what I mean? And that's what I've noticed about YouTube. I feel like on YouTube, people think if they delete a video right after they do it, it's gone. And I was going to take my video down when I said the R word, because I immediately knew, oh my God, I can't believe that came out of my mouth. I was so mad at the time, not mad, but just like frustrated. So that word came out of my mouth. And my mom was like, Tia, she's like, yes, it's not a good word to say. It was wrong of you to say. She's like, but Tia, you right away apologize and admit it to your actions. It just shows that you're human and you make mistakes, but you apologize. And she's like, I would leave it up. She's like, I don't think that it's a bad thing. She's like, everyone makes mistakes. Just like I know that other creator makes mistakes. But when you're constantly making excuses for your mistakes, then what's the point? That means if you're making excuses, you're going to keep doing it. So it's pointless. It's pointless to continue to go tit for tat. I don't know how people do that, but we're going to continue to bring awareness about these kinds of things. I'm not afraid to talk about these kind of issues. So get ready for it. If there's ever anything that you guys don't attack, it's just going to cause more drama and give her another excuse to talk. Exactly. I agree. And the thing is I've never attacked her, though. I've never attacked her. You know what I mean? The only thing I did was take a racial microaggressive comment and used it to educate people. That's all. You know, I've never, ever attacked her, nor would I ever. To me, she's just not worth it. I thought you hit the nail on the head with that comment. She's a few slices short of a loaf of bread, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to just end it. I'm glad that we can talk about these kind of things. I'm glad that we can actually just talk and be civil, agree to disagree. And we're in this comment section, besides a few trolls, was so like refreshing. And I'm so happy that we were able to just talk like adults, you guys. You know, these kinds of things are important. And it's important to me to make my chat a place for people to come and express their opinions, their thoughts, their feelings without being judged. Okay? And you don't have to agree with everything that I say. You don't have to. I'm not that type of creator. You don't have to agree with everything that I say. But the one thing I can say is you can agree to disagree in a respectful way. And we will talk about this. I'm not afraid to talk about these issues, these topics. And we will talk about colorism in the Black community, which a lot of people don't know about. Hey, Wolf, how are you? A lot of people don't know about that, but it's very, very, it's very problematic in the Black community. And I want to talk about it. I want to bring awareness to that. And I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about tomorrow, you guys, but I'll find something. Social. What does that say? I think some words are missing or something, Heather. Yes, this topic is important, and it is so refreshing for all of us to talk maturely about the subject. Yes, I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Thank you for being open-minded. Thank you, Rose Gold. Love this live. Good night, all sweet dreams. Yes, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope to see you guys back here tomorrow. It's not, I'm not going to say for sure that I'll be live, but most likely I will be. And if there's ever any topics or anything that you're curious about that you want to talk about, email me, find me on Facebook. Put the banner up real quick. I got to get new contacts, you guys. I'll put the banner up and find me on Facebook. I'm always open and ready to talk to each and every one of you. So that's it. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Okay? And let me bring back up the chat. That's my Facebook scrolling across the screen. Thank you to my amazing mods. Thank you for the super chats. I love you guys. Thank you for being so supportive. And remember, if you don't like what somebody's saying, click out. Okay? Like makeup he would wear to a festival. I love to see some more makeup looks. Yeah, I'm going to be doing more makeup looks. I'm going to start filming because, like I said, it's a little bit hard to do it live, but I'll figure it out. We'll figure out something. Don't worry. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. And stay beautiful, stay blessed, and I love you guys. Bye.